Okay, I know last week was scary, but she has a face and a sister now. Welcome to part 2 of the Even Better series. I hope you enjoyed last week's video where I shared with you 4 tips on how to paint even better eyes. Today we're going to move a little further south and tackle what's arguably the hardest facial feature to paint, which is the nose. And like I said last week, today's video is going to be a little closer to real time, just because I want you guys to have a much more realistic idea of how long it takes to paint a face. And I will have timestamps for how long each step took, as well as the playback speed through the video. Just check the bottom left of your screen and it should be there. But you guys, noses are tough. They are purely made of skin on the surface, which means you somehow have to make it look soft and blended and connected to the rest of the face, but at the same time you have to maintain structural integrity. So today I'm only going to show you a front-facing nose. If you guys are interested in noses from different angles and shapes and sizes and such, let me know in the comments below and I'll make that happen. As always, if you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, then please do let me know by giving it a big thumbs up and leaving a comment below. If you like me and my content and want to see more of it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss part 3 of this series, which drops next week. And if you'd like to see the entire process of this painting from start to finish, it will be up on my Patreon on Sunday, which is today if you're watching the YouTube release for this video. So check that out. There's loads of rewards on there already and more coming out every single week, so the link is in the video description. Alright, here's my 4 tips to even better noses. So we're picking back up with the Gemini painting today, and as always we're going to start with some construction lines. When it comes to the nose, I always like to start with an inverted kite shape. So a diamond where the upper half is way taller than the lower half. From here we're going to create another little mountain peak, this time creating a proper diamond shape with the lower half. So now you have a diamond with an arrowhead above it, essentially. This is the overall structural guide for the center of the nose. We're then going to extend that smaller peak out on both sides following the initial angle on either side. We can then turn both of these extensions inwards again. These are the guides for your nostrils. And the tip of that mountain peak is where your nose bulb will go. Now obviously these are very rough guides, so we're going to go in and clean things up a little. I'm going to lower the opacity of the sketch and create a new layer on top. And since these are very rough guides, your cleaner lines don't have to be exactly on top of the construction lines. Those are only there to give you a general idea. So when I now draw over the construction lines, I'm constantly making choices about where I want the corners and edges to lie, how big or small I want the nose bulb to be, and so on. When you break the sketch down into iterations like this, it prevents you from feeling overwhelmed about having that perfect sketch in your first iteration. You know how a cartoon lion's nose is so simplistic it's almost funny? Take Simba for instance. His nose is basically 2 trapezoids joined together at their longest edge, where the upper trapezoid is longer than the lower one. This is because cartoons simplify tiny complex shapes into very simple large shapes that are still recognizable as the original object, but without all of the unnecessary details. And even when it comes to painting something more complicated, you simply can't start complex and expect it to turn out right. You need to start with your simpler, larger shapes and then work your way up to the finer, more complicated details. So when it comes to rendering the nose, I like to use the Lion King nose as a base for the shadow placement. So everything above the bulb of the nose is our kingdom because it is where light touches. However, everything below the bulb of the nose is in the shadow. And these 2 simple tones instantly take your flat sketch and turn it into a 3-dimensional object. From here, you can then create a bunch of midtones and refine the surface, but this step is crucial for laying the groundwork. Now this is more a stylistic tip, so it might not apply to all of you guys' work, but personally I love the cute button-like nose for more youthful characters because it was really soft and baby-like. And a lot of popular artists use this nose shape in their stylized portraits, so I figured I'd show you how to get that button nose effect. And no, we're not literally gonna paint a circle around the nose bulb, because believe it or not, that adds unnecessary hard edges to the nose. Instead, we're only gonna partially define that circle, so since we already have the bottom of the nose bulb in shadow, we're gonna leave the sides and only create definition on the top edge of the nose bulb. And this is something I want you to remember forever, is that if you want something to appear soft, you never define every single edge. In fact, I dare you to define as few lines as possible. Watch how that instantly softens the surface out. But just to really push the upturned effect, we're going to drag that upper shadow even further up, especially on both sides of the nose bridge. And side note, I just realized while writing the script that they call it a nose bridge because it connects the left and right half of your face. I had a whole meltdown about this on Discord, but why don't they teach us this in school? It's so obvious. Anyway, if you want to add extra cuteness to the nose, do what Ross Tran and Shell E do and completely eliminate the nose bridge. So I'm gonna grab the color that's on the cheek area and pull it all the way across the nose. This makes it look like the nose bridge is pretty much flat, giving you the illusion that the bulb of the nose is pointed upwards, kind of like you'd see on a baby's face. This is my favorite part of painting a nose, which is to add a bit of redness to it. The blood vessels in your face are super concentrated around your nose and the apples of your cheek. These are the bits that, if you're pale enough, you'll notice that they go red in the winter or when you're way too warm, or even if you have a cold. It's just one of those slice of life details I like to add to my characters, no matter how dark their skin is, because it adds so much realism instantly. Easiest way to do this is grab a soft airbrush and set it to soft light blending mode. Make sure you're painting on your painted layer and not a new layer, because otherwise it won't work. I then grab a saturated red or orange and gently airbrush on and around the nose bulb, and instantly it perks up the skin and makes her face look alive. And that's it. There's your even better nose. Like I said, you guys, if you'd like an even more in-depth tutorial on noses from different angles and different shapes and sizes, let me know in the comments below and I will make it happen. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial, and if you found it helpful, then please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out so much. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and joined the Discord server. If you haven't, come check it out. The link is in the video description. But I love interacting with you guys, and I love that you love the content so much, so thank you so much for being here. And again, if you'd like to see this entire painting from start to finish, hit me up on Patreon. The link is in the video description. I put out tons of rewards every single week, at least 4 days a week, so you're missing out. Check that out. The link is in the video description. And with all of that said, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Check out some more videos up here. Wait for the feature after the outro, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!